Hi, this is Nat. Welcome back to FTW. First time watching. We're here for the season finale of Derry Girls. We've been watching the show together. It's been so fun. Great acting and great cringe. So that in my book equals great comedy. Before we continue, find your snack, take a seat, and let's watch Derry Girls season 1 episode 6. I don't know what the finale might be.
But it's the truth, Mary. You wouldn't find any darks. What? Oh, listen, Dad.
Do not be starting me about darks, Mary. Stick on a half load me done with a woman. I don't see why that useless strip you call a husband has to get coming. Tell that free-state fucker to shift his hole.
Oh, everything is dark.
Do you hear me? You're putting yourself under too much pressure.
What are you on about, Orla?
Step aerobics. Our instructor says she's a natural. She might be gifted, but I just want her to have a normal childhood.
Now, wait.
Who's doing the laundry and obsessing about it?
What are you doing here?
Oh.
Being your fancy woman, I suppose.
Do any of you remember what it felt like to go develop photographs and not knowing what they would look like until they were developed? I actually have a Polaroid machine now that is from the 80s. So I use Polaroid film and I take the picture and have to wait until you see it. But not even a Polaroid actually represents the experience of having to wait days for a film to be actually developed. Some films had like 100 pictures that you could take. So imagine doing 100 pictures. You don't even remember what you took in the first place. You were always in for a surprise. Much more simple times and yet somehow more complex times.
Do you absolutely need it?
I'm afraid I do, sir, yes. Proof of ID.
Oh, why would I lie?
To get your hands on someone else's photos. A stalker.
I'm not a stalker. Ask me wife there. I am this man.
It could be you.
This is my father-in-law, Joe. He can vouch for me.
Oh, he's not gonna do
I've
that.
never seen this man before in my life.
No docket, no photographs.
Asma?
please.
Can I have your attention, please, ladies?
Fabby Dabby too.
Get down. Get down. I've just received a phone call from Louise Kerr's mother, and it's not looking great.
Oh, God, I just can't.
Right, well, fair enough if nobody's willing to take her place.
I'll do it.
Really?
Absolutely. The show must go on.
You terrify me.
You can't believe
Good luck, all.
Reasonable, sister.
They were my birthday photos, for God's sake.
It's gone. The docket's gone.
Guess who's been made editor of the school magazine? I think I know what happened to the wee docket.
I was gonna ask, what is a wee docket? Oh, Erin.
Good morning, team!
Oh, they walked out on her.
They quit. Nobody really has any respect for you.
Yes, all right. Thank you. Well, I appreciate that you're still here, Aisling.
I only came back because I forgot my inhaler.
I've got my own people, and we'll show you you're the amateurs that you are.
Okay, right.
I can't understand. Let's just run through some of our favourite ideas. How can we print this utter shit? Shoes of the world? What does it fit me?
Yeah, we're fucked.
It's okay. It's gonna be okay. We can just steal something. Let's see.
Suffocation, the secret life of a gay teenager.
It's anonymous.
It wasn't me.
We'll just print this. Come on, Erin, you can't do that. Something like this could go on our permanent record, Erin. Count me out. Fine.
Not happening. I mean, for God's sake, Erin, what happened to Shoes of the World? They are not to be distributed tomorrow.
But that's censorship.
You are correct.
It's you.
What?
The photographs.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
We will not be censored!
I mean,
Really do. I don't want to get involved, I'm sorry. Everyone's buzzing to find out who she is.
She'll basically be a celebrity.
Then if you're looking for the wee laser, look no further, because here she is.
Fuck off.
nobody believes her.
You should be ashamed of yourself. I know. It all just made me a bit nervous. It is me. I'm the wee lesbian.
I so you are, Claire.
I'm not joking. You made me realise it's all okay. Don't come out. Go back in.
No.
I want to go back in. I'm sorry, Claire, but I'm just not interested.
That's
in
not what
you.
she meant.
I really thought you'd understand.
I just want my old friend back.
Ignore him, Erin. These gays, they all stick together.
It's the heart.
Every year, I sit backstage listening, and it really makes me realise just how talented the professionals who originally recorded these tracks.
Orla McCool.
Please let it be so cool, please.
She might be a dick, but she's my dick. Actually, she's our dick.
In what is already being described as one of
What does that
at
mean?
least 12 people are thought to be dead. The device was detonated at 3 p.m. this afternoon.
Changing every day, never quite as it seems anymore.
A car bomb was detonated in the town center, 1998. Wow. It said here that there was a phone call that misled the police to evacuating people into the path of the bomb. Wow. Okay, so Derry girls always had the historical element of, the context of Ireland present. They didn't shy away from it. There's always been the military men there, and the conflict and the push even with the English, there's these things that have always been present in the show. But to me, this kind of came out of nowhere because I didn't expect it. But I think it also ties back probably to reality. Okay, just bear with me because it's not going to be a comparison, but I'm tying it back to, I'm from Argentina. We have this underlying level of risk because of, I would say, since the 90s, because of the economical crisis that the neoliberalism brought into our lives in Argentina. The decay of jobs and the economical crisis, more people were without resources. So theft and just overall risk became more normal. And why I draw some similarities to this is because for somebody that is from other places where that is not the case, going to Argentina and being even remotely exposed to being like pickpocketed or suffering some sort of theft or something like that is like something they would never think of. And also for us, there's this underlying sense of it can happen to you. It can happen, it's a possibility. So you kind of become desensitized to the underlying danger of some sort. But at the same time, when things happen, or even so, like major things happen, you're still struck. And it still feels like it came out of nowhere, even though the tension or the danger was always there or piling up. It's not like it came out of nowhere. You're like reprogramming yourself because you need to survive in your daily life. You need to go about your day. You need to go to school if you're younger. You need to go to work. You need to, you're living with your family. You try to do a normal life in the circumstances that you live in. So even though maybe there's chances of suffering some sort of issue or theft or pickpocketing or something of that sort, you cannot always be thinking about that when you leave. You take precautions and you're kind of in the back of your mind have some sort of protocol of what you do before you leave the house or how you behave in the street, or if something were to happen, you kind of maybe think about how you would react. And then it happened to me when we moved to Europe that I had to sort of deprogram myself from that way of thinking a little bit. Not entirely, of course. I think this draws comparison into this episode, which they were worrying about, somebody coming out of the closet, editing a magazine, just ordinary kids and teens would be concerned about. And then suddenly this thing happens, and it feels, because I was about to say that just now, I was gonna say this came out of nowhere, and it didn't. It didn't, because the show never shied away from this context. The show did a great job at kind of introducing it as part of their daily lives, you know? These things were kind of painted in an ordinary, maybe even comic way. And now it suddenly came about, a serious thing happening. It came out of nowhere, but it actually didn't. And now we know it's 1998. I knew it was the 90s, but I wasn't sure exactly what time. I think the ending, I do have to say, kind of got my focus and shifted my attention into this topic. But I would like to highlight some of the stuff that I mentioned throughout the episode. We do have Orla doing the stepping, which I love, and her doing her own thing. And I would say the beginning of this episode actually made me realize how much I enjoy Orla's mom, like the aunt, Erin's aunt, just her cadence, the way she goes about things. I feel like she's so enjoyable. I love it. I think I've always enjoyed it, but I think just now it was like tasteful, like I could savor it. And then the mom worrying about not being able to do a full load of laundry. I love it. I love it. And the fact that who hasn't had something white totally stained by something of color? I know I have. And don't try to bleach it. It's only gonna damage the fabric. Just either wear it like that, dye it even more, you know, just darker, whatever color is darker, or let it go. I did like the interaction between Erin and Claire. You could feel an uneasiness from Claire's side when they picked the story. I mean, I know it's a comedic piece, Erin telling Claire to go back into the closet, but it's such an awful thing to say. I know the 90s were a different time. I get it. But it's really difficult for me to watch that, to be honest. And I do like that they included that. And on the other side, they included Erin right away assuming that because Claire is a lesbian, she's into her. And surprise, 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 surprise. Gay people, lesbians, they're not into everybody. The funny thing is that many people still think that way, even though this is a portrait or a snapshot of the 90s mindset. So I think it's important that that was showcased. I don't know how the series is going to continue because, like I said, the ending was pretty hardcore on the topic of violence. But I personally would have liked Erin taking a sincere step back and apologizing to Claire. I do think there's also really young, so maybe they don't have the emotional maturity. I'm not maybe, strike that. Erin does not have the emotional maturity to do that. But I hope she's sincerely sorry, and not just because her friend wouldn't speak to her. I hope that she realizes. And I love that her father was supportive of her and being like, you know, things are gonna work out. And then when the newscast was on the TV, how Claire's grandpa was like, even so, reaching out to his son-in-law, which is something he doesn't like doing, but you can see it's kind of like a performative father-in-law type of thing, which who has time to be performing in life? I mean, a lot of people do it, but once you're conscious about how performative sometimes our actions are or our decisions are, just to try to keep the status quo and the characters that we've been assigned to take on this life, it's really freeing because you can actually start making your own calls and making your own decisions. But that's not here or there. So thank you so much for watching. I would like to know what you think. Let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you on the next FTW. Bye. Surprise, surprise.